lighting is awful. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. We're starting this day off by going to take Cooper to school. This is not gonna work. Say hi.
Hi.
This lighting is awful. If we get going, it'll change. Thank God it is Friday, right buddy?
Yeah.
Are you gonna have a good day?
Yeah.
That's good. I got so much to do today. Resolution coming in clutch already. Are you cold, buddy?
No.
Okay. Let's put some heat on in here. So where do you want to go tonight if we go to dinner? Because we're
Longhorn.
You want to go to Longhorn? Why? Because of the bread?
Yeah.
Bread and butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to blow my nose.
Okay, we'll blow it when we get to the school, okay? I think you're getting sick again for the 100th time this year. And I'm pretty sure it's not just a cold again because you've gotten like 100 colds this year. Your surgery to be soon. So for those who don't know, Cooper this year has been non-stop sick since January, and at first I was like, okay, he's got like a really bad cold the first time and it lasted forever, and the pediatrician wasn't doing anything, so I took him to a specialist. And the specialist, he's like an allergist, but everybody was recommending him. I love him. He is an amazing, amazing doctor. And he immediately put him on antibiotics and it cleared him up. And I had my kid back and I was like, okay, this doctor knows what he's doing. Well, then it was like no time before he was sick again. So the doctor was like, well, maybe we got it, but we didn't get all of it. So then it starts coming back. So we go back to the doctor. Then, while it was like May at that time, so he puts him back on another antibiotic. He gets better, and he was good until like the end of August, I guess. Yeah, the end of August. Like he had a little bit of snot and everything going on, but he was better. And he got put back on antibiotics at the end of August, and I was like, okay, something's going on, like maybe it's my house. So September comes around, school starts, he comes home the first week, he's already sick, like sick, back to school germs, whatever it is. He was high fever, puking, you know, the joys. So he gets over that, and like his cough and everything, the same cough that he had earlier in the year was coming back. And I'm like, well, the doctor already said, because the doctor I'm taking him to is an allergist, and the allergist said it's not an allergy. Like what he has is not an allergy. And I don't have allergies. His dad does, like bad. And yeah, bad. So for the doctor to say that he doesn't have an allergy, I was like, okay, all right, well, so he put him back on antibiotics. Well, the antibiotics weren't working. So he put him back on what he was on before, and it cleared it right up. So I was like, okay. The only problem is that the antibiotic he puts him on that actually works is Augmentin. And Augmentin stains his teeth so bad, and it like leaves like this line across his teeth all the way around. And no matter if you brush your teeth afterwards or whatever, we were like, you can't get rid of it. It won't work. So I was taking him to the dentist every time after the Augmentin to get his teeth cleaned, like polished. And of course our insurance wasn't covering all these polishes, so you had to pay out of pocket just for the polish. Whatever, it's fine, it's cool. As long as those teeth are okay. So we go on that antibiotic, he was getting better, and then he was getting sick again. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to get really worried that something is in my house that's making him sick. We moved in about 2 years ago, like something's bothering him. So then I started freaking out and blaming my house. So I go and I get like the house tested for air quality or whatever. It came back with, you know, a little bit of stuff in the air, whatever. So then I'm thinking that it's, come here buddy, let's blow your nose while we're doing this. Can you get out of your seat? So then after all of that, I'm like, what is going on? So all in all, there's like nothing coming out. I am still taking him to the back and forth to the doctor, and the specialist was like, okay, something is going on and we need to get this taken care of. So finally in November, it's been a long year. Finally in November, we take him to the doctor and he said, we need to schedule a CT for his sinuses. We need to see what's going on. You okay?
Yeah.
So we take him, I scheduled the CT. So that week, I was trying to keep him not sick. Like I was trying to get him to the point to where he would be like, okay. Well, he had developed bronchitis so bad, and he was coughing so bad on Thanksgiving that night I had to take him to the ER because he was like coughing so much.
Like the hospital.
Yeah, the ER. And I was like scared because my kid was popping blood vessels out of his face, and I'm like, something's gotta give. So by the time we get up there, they're like, well, we can't cure his cough. I know you can't cure his cough, but is there something you can give him that will suppress it? And he was like, oh, hang on, no. So, take him up there, they give him breathing treatments, and she was like, this is gonna make him really hyper, so I'll be right back.
What time is it?
8:26. And it did make my kid hyper. My kid fell asleep because he could breathe for the first time in like a week. He hadn't slept. I hadn't slept because I never sleep if he doesn't sleep. I'm a wreck. And after the breathing treatment, she said, well, the doctor's about to come back in. So he comes back in and he was like, I want to give him Decadron. And I was like, okay, what is that? And he says, it's a steroid that will suppress his cough. Well, I'm not too keen on steroids because, you know, he's 5. Like, I don't want my kid on anything like that. And I don't take stuff like that. Like, I'm just not for it. But if it's willing to help my kid, like, I'm desperate right now because it's been a long year and it's Thanksgiving and he's like dying from coughing. So he gives him Decadron and he was like, it'll kick in by the time you get him because we live no ways from the hospital. So I was like, okay. So we get home. This is turning into a long fest in the drop-off line. We get home and he passes out. And like, when I say pass out, like my kid, mouth open, drool, passed out. And I was like, oh my God. Like, and then I'm like, is he okay? So I'm like checking to make sure he's breathing and he's fine. However, the next morning, ironically, was the same morning that we had to be up for the CT. So we didn't get home until 3:30 a.m. We had to be at the CT place the radiology place by 7:30 a.m. So as soon as he passes out, I pass out. And then when we had to get up, I don't do well without sleep. Like when it becomes like a week-long thing, I don't do well. And I was puking, like puking, because my body was shutting down. I hadn't ate nothing. I was a wreck. I couldn't even eat Thanksgiving dinner, and my grandmother made bomb-ass dinner because she's amazing like that. And so we get him up, and we couldn't get him up. Like, he would not wake up because he was so tired that he was just done. So we carried him to the radiology place and carried him inside. Sorry guys, we're in the drop-off line and I'm watching like all these kids like walk in and their parents don't have coats on them, don't have jackets, don't have hats, like, okay. So we carry him inside, they go to do the CT and he falls asleep. My kid fell asleep to do a CT. Like, he wasn't scared, he wasn't nervous, anything like that, but he fell asleep. So they get done that and we carry him back home and he sleeps for like another 3.5 hours. I tried to get some sleep, but of course it didn't happen because I can't sleep during the day. Never could. Even when he was an infant and he wasn't sleeping then, like, I never could sleep during the day. I'm wide awake. So I get on the phone with the doctor and I'm like, listen, the doctor that he's been seeing, the specialist. I'm like, listen, they gave him a steroid that is actually working and he hasn't coughed or anything and it stopped it. And because the specialist had given him a steroid and it was supposed to suppress his cough. It wasn't doing anything, and when it didn't do anything for 2 days, I stopped it. Like, I was not doing it anymore. It was actually, it seemed like making it worse. So when I called the doctor and he was like, he was out. Of course he was out. It was Black Friday. I know, buddy. It was Black Friday. Of course he was out. He was probably doing Black Friday things. It was the day after Thanksgiving. He's off. It's cool. However, this doctor is so amazing that his assistant was in and she was like, I'm gonna call him and leave a message. And I'm like, okay, thank you. He sees the message, sees that Cooper was at the ER, and he was like, I don't want to give him that steroid. It apparently stays in their system a little bit longer than it's supposed to, or than it should, or something like that, and I'm just not comfortable giving him that. Contrary, the ER doctor was not okay with what he had prescribed for Cooper prior. So I was like, okay, so neither one of you are okay with what my kid has in his system. This is good. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not giving him anything else that you prescribed to him except the antibiotic, because to me that's the most harmless thing that I could be giving him right now, so that's what we're gonna do. He was like, I really want him to stay on what I prescribed him. And I was like, okay, well, no. So I'm back and forth with the pharmacy all day because he apparently prescribed Augmentin again. So I was like, okay. So I had to go to the pharmacy that evening, get the Augmentin, come back home, and start that round. Well, because the Decadron was still in his system, it literally, he didn't cough from Friday morning at 3:30 a.m. until Saturday night, and that was amazing because he was able to sleep Friday night, and it was great. Are you saying hi to the camera? And then when he started to cough, it was it's hot in here now. It was a bad cough. Like, it started and it got repetitive like it was doing before, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go back to the ER. Because the ER doctor said that it would last for 36 hours, and if he... Bless you.
Thank you.
Do you need to blow your nose? Here, put your book bag up here because you're gonna have to get out in like 8 minutes. You might have to come back, and that's okay. But if he continues to have problems, like, don't hesitate, just come back. And I was like, okay. Well, I was freaking out, as always, and I'm like, no, I don't want to take him back. So I gave him Delsum, children's Delsum, and I was not okay with that, but it was for ages 4 and up, and Cooper's 5.5. He'll be 6 in June. So I was like, okay, well, we're good. Like, this is good. This will work. It kicks in and it like knocked the cough, and I'm like, okay, now I'm beginning to think that he has, the cough is then moved on its way and he's good to just take this. Well, the Delsum's 12 hours. He was able to sleep Saturday night. He woke up Sunday with a little bit of and good to go. So, sorry guys, I keep looking in the viewfinder because the square keeps moving with my head. That's kind of weird. And lo and behold, fast forward, CT comes back. He's got chronic sinusitis. Okay, well, that's what we suspected all along because his dad has it. So, chronic sinusitis, okay. And we had a follow-up with a specialist on Tuesday regardless of the ER visit, everything like that. So, she probably thinks I'm crazy because I'm talking to a camera. It's okay. But, go to meet with the specialist on Tuesday. And
hi guys.
He asked me what happened. He wanted to know the full story. I told him exactly what happened, like what went on, then the CT and everything like that. And he was like, I need you. Hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. On Monday, before we followed up on Tuesday, I called Children's National Medical Center. And I was like, I need to schedule something with ENT up there. Something needs to be done. So my kid needs to be seen. Like, I didn't even know what I was saying because I was talking out of my, whatever. So I call up there, they make the appointment, and it was for the following day, for like Wednesday, for after the, I called on Monday, they scheduled us for Wednesday, so. Okay.
Go hungry.
What?
Nothing.
So I told the specialist, excuse me, I'm leaving out names for multiple reasons. Called him and said, hey, I already like scheduled it, everything like that. And then that's when we had the follow-up on Tuesday. So then I told him that I already had it scheduled, and he was like, yeah, he was like, I was gonna tell you to do that he needs to be seen. I think he needs surgery. And I was like, okay, well, it's been a long year. It's been 10 months, 11 months, 12 months, yeah. January to November, 11 months, whatever, almost 12. So, I was like, well, what kind of surgery? And he was like, he needs his entire nasal cavity cleaned. And I was like, what? I wasn't expecting that, but then he said he needs his tonsils and his adenoids out. And I was like, okay, well, all right. I never had that done. His dad had it done, but he was 22 at the time, so that was really rough for him, apparently.
And now my dad is 33.
He's going to love that you just said that on camera. Anyway, so we get done with the specialist, had the CT scans. I'm to go see the doctor at Children's on Wednesday. She's like, finally, that was epic. Saw so many. Anyway, get up there, see her. Oh, we need chapstick. See her, and she's like, he needs surgery. Like, it needs to happen. He's not gonna get any better. He's probably gonna be getting it worse. Like, she was like, I really feel that he has a infection in his adenoids. And I was like, really? And she was like, yes, because it's not going away, it's constant, and he keeps getting it. She said, very rarely does it affect the sinuses. And then she looked in his throat, and his tonsils were enlarged, but they weren't to the point to where they were touching. And usually they remove them when they're touching. And she was like, I'm just removing everything. Not just his adenoids, his tonsils too. And I was like, okay. And I said, what about cleaning the nasal cavity? And she was like, I spoke with a specialist. I really think very highly of him. She said, but Cooper's age, I don't want to mess with his sinuses yet. He hasn't matured enough up here. Because on the CT scan, the specialist was showing me at the time. Buddy, get your back. Okay, you have it on. Okay. Just because they're going to be coming out in a second to come and get you. What was I saying? Due to his age and everything, he hasn't matured up here. Because apparently you grow sinuses at like 10 years old, your other sinuses start forming. It's so neat. Like, I'm so fascinated by this now. But she was like, I'm not gonna be doing that. So, okay. So then I have to wait. We go back home and I have to wait for a phone call to schedule his surgery, because they call you. So the surgery is January 14th. It's a Monday, and he's gonna be out of school for like 2 weeks, is what they said. So my kid's gonna lose his being home from school for 2 weeks. I'm an oldest bitch. But I'm hoping that this is the answer. But anyway, after all this long spiel, he is getting sick again. And now I'm scared because do I take him back to the specialist and get put back on Augmentin? I just took him yesterday to the dentist to get his teeth cleaned, and she said, is he gonna be done doing antibiotics, or is he gonna go back on them and we have to do this again? I'm like, well, he is actually getting surgery, so I don't know though if between now and the surgery date, which is a month, if he's gonna need anything else. And I'm freaking hoping. I probably shouldn't have done the cleaning, but my kids' teeth are really important to me because they just are. Like, my mom was always on me for my teeth, and praise God for her, because I legit took care of my teeth. I didn't have my first cavity until I was like 26. Yeah, because I had just had him and I got my first cavity. Bye, baby. Are they out? We're not here yet. Hang on. Don't tell me bye yet. But I'm always on him about his teeth, like brushing and everything like that, and taking him to the dentist periodically. Like, I'm on point. So anyway, like, just praying he doesn't get sick until then, because I'm just not gonna be sane. It's Christmas and I don't want to deal with this, and I feel so bad because my kid's been sick all year and he hasn't been able to be a kid, like, at all. He's miserable all the time and he can't sleep and he's not getting rest, and I'm still pushing him to, you know, try and push through it and everything. And he's been such a trooper because he still gets up and wants to go to school. And hey, you gotta wait though, because she's gotta go in and drop her stuff off first, so hang on. Hey, can you tell everybody bye?
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day, okay?
Okay.
And I will see you later. You're so cute.
At lunchtime?
No, probably not at lunch, because I'm gonna be with Grandma this morning. I gotta take Grandma out and about this morning. But
bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Okay, don't go out yet. You're in like such a rush to get the hell out of here. Like a line of people behind us. But anyway,
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. So
but we beat the white van.
We did beat the white van, honey. We did. Okay, go ahead. She's saying, come on. Go ahead. Bye, bud. Love you. Love you. Thank you. I love when that teacher greets us in the mornings, because she literally makes my day. But anyway, so now, like, everybody needs to say a silent little prayer for Cooper. Not for me, because I'll be fine, but pray for my kid, because he is like such a trooper, and I just don't want him sick at Christmas. I don't want him sick at Christmas. I don't want him sick at Christmas. So I don't like sun. Now I get to go pick up Grandma, because it's Friday, and run her around for her errands, and yeah, so let's go do that. she actually does get here. But anyway, she's a bus driver, so I usually in the morning once Cooper goes to school, then I come and pick her up. We go and get coffee or whatever. Like, me and my grandma are super close, have been all my life, and I will be 31 in February, and I don't know what I would do without her. She's amazing. She's amazing. And I'm kind of hungry, but I'm trying to be really good. So I don't want to like go get a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's or Starbucks, or because then I'm gonna want a coffee. But we do have a Chick-fil-A that just got put in where we live, and it is always packed except for breakfast. So then I feel like I need to like treat yourself because it's Friday, but yeah, no, I don't need to treat myself. I don't. We'll see. These things though are on point though, let me tell you. They're amazing, and I highly recommend because they're just good and they're good for you, and they have a serving of veggies. And I've tried the orange grapefruit, and I'm a huge grapefruit person. I love grapefruit. Oh my god, it's so good. But the orange grapefruit one is very like gross, so I don't. Strawberry cucumber is very like, you have to like cucumber, which I love cucumber, but it's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But I always feel better after I drink those. They make my headache go away, so that's good. I made coffee this morning, a cup of coffee from my Keurig, but I didn't drink it all. I took like 3 sips before I started getting myself ready and Cooper ready, and I kind of have a headache now, so I'm like kind of regretting not drinking that, but it's okay. It's all good. We'll push through. It's like so cold out today, and I hate cold weather, like hate cold weather, and I need warmth all the time. Like when it's 98 degrees, I am in heaven. I love summer. I love the warmth. I love going outside, and then in the summer and at nighttime also, because it's still warm and it's still comfortable. I grew up pretty much living with my grandparents, and they don't have air conditioning, so I grew up really much without air conditioning. Like my parents have it, but I don't ever need to. I don't need air conditioning, but obviously my husband prefers air conditioning, which is fine, it's okay. But I love the warmth, and I hate cold weather. I hate wearing layers of clothes. I hate being cold. I hate it. I'm miserable. I'm in a bad mood, and yeah, I'm just not a very happy camper when that happens. So yeah. I just, you know. But anyway, I am really wishing that it didn't go from, because it went from summer here to immediate winter. There was no in between. There was no fall. There was no crisp leaf feeling, the smell, nothing. It went from blistering like warmth, and then it just went winter. Like, I'm sorry guys, no fall this year. It's just winter, summer, winter. We didn't even have all 4 seasons. We didn't even really have spring either. So whatever. But anyway, I really just want Christmas over with. I want the surgery over with. I want spring to come. I want summer to come. Yeah. It's like super cold out today. anyway, so I'm just I'm supposed to have lunch with my mom today. And I'm hoping that happens. I'm super excited too because Ryan's dad and stepmom are coming after Christmas, and we haven't seen them. I haven't seen his dad since May of 2017. We haven't seen his stepmom since, because she didn't come the last time. He came out with just his sister, but I'm really excited to see them, like really excited. I love his dad, and like it's just, I love them both, but you know what I mean. I'm just really excited. I'm happy they're coming because they're missing it. Like, they live out in Colorado, so we don't get to see them. And I've never left the East Coast. Like, planes terrify me. And we're gonna go out there. We have to plan it, but it's expensive, and the flights, and like Ryan, my husband Ryan, like his work schedule, and Cooper being in school now, it's just chaotic, and we just have to plan something. But we want to plan something where we can go and see everybody at one time, and it's just like, it's gonna be interesting when we can do that. But anyway, we have to, like, we see his family like here and there in bits and pieces. His sister and brother-in-law were just out, and we had so much fun with them, and yeah, I love them. They're awesome. So yeah, I am seriously starving though. This is not good. I'll probably eat some grapes. I have grapes, and then I have candy. Have you guys ever had cotton candy grapes? These are the only, I've ruined my kid. This is the only type of grapes he will eat now. And when you eat them, they taste like cotton candy. And they're amazing. They're expensive, but they're amazing. And they're worth it. But you could only find them at certain stores, and then they disappeared. And I was like, oh my God, they're really gone. They're gone already, seriously. But then I found them again at Costco. And I am a huge Costco person. Like, Costco is my jam. Like, my jam. I found them at Safeway. I found them at Giant. They're so good. So good. But I'm still gonna be starving, so eating these are just not gonna cut it. My battery's dying. That's cool. Happy Friday. Things are addicting. I need to find my charger for my battery because I don't have an extra battery, so this vlog's gonna be all over the place because I have to now wait till that charges. That's great. Awesome. Okay guys, Grandma's here. I'm gonna make her say hi to the camera. She's gonna be like, what? You're what? Vlogging? Yeah, for YouTube. YouTube. Watch. Watch. This woman's been driving a school bus, by the way, for like 39 years. Saint, I'm telling you. Saint. She's gonna say something about how cold it is too, because it's windy.
Almost went down.
Say hi.
Hi!
I'm vlogging.